175s. $44s. 44s. $16. 1644. That's a tall gear on a 24-inch cruiser. That's a gear more appropriate for a 20-incher. I just had to go faster. You'd probably get some lighter, racier cranks. These look like flatland street type cranks with left side drive capability. They feel like steel. But, you know, again, I got 40 pounds of body weight to lose before anything that weighs anything on this bicycle is going to matter. There's some hub damage in there. Something got loose and ate up in years past. And somebody very cleverly put a rubber washer outside the cone to keep, you know, excess mud and dirt out. Looks like they did a pretty good job. Looks like it's going to work pretty well. That's plenty packed with grease right there. I'm going to go ahead and cone up to that and see what it feels like. Well, let's just say that throughout my BMX racing career, this will be my backup bike, put it that way. This bike will get me started, and for 200 bucks, it's everything I need right now. But if I was seriously racing, trying to run up front, I would invest in some good wheels with some freshly packed hubs. With cartridge bearings, not these ball bearings like this. Think there's anything particularly wrong with these. I just think that they could be a little nicer, better made, more expensive cartridge bearings that are replaceable, where you press the whole cartridge out and just buy new ones instead of futzing around with repacking these old style bearings. But they'll work and they'll be just fine. They'll do everything I need them to do. So we're going to run them. The threads on this axle are a little boogered up. I should take it all the way out and just re-thread the whole length of the whole axle back to the proper thread and just cut it with a die. But once I get the cones and bearings into place where they need to be, the thread's a little bit hanging up. It's not that big a deal. Now with bearings in good condition, it's very easy to find that exact place between where bearing drag starts and notchy feelings end. It's very easy to find that on good hubs. On cheaper mass-produced hubs that are maybe a little bit damaged, well, then what you get is you get a hub that if you loosen it any looser at all, it's going to wind up feeling like it has play. And if it goes any tighter at all, it's going to be notchy and tight. So it's a bit of an art with these old style hubs to catch those bearings right in the right spot. And I remember having that challenge when I was a kid at Brian's Bicycle Shop, owned by Kenny Weston in Pasadena, Maryland. I remember dealing with it there. But Yeah, like see right now, this bearing is both, it's both slightly loose and slightly notchy. So I really do need new hubs and wheels and bearings if I'm going to race seriously. But we'll get these rolling so we can get up and do some training for the winter. For the price I paid for this bike, I got more than my money's worth, so no stress on my part. We'll rock and roll with what we got. In order to get these in the realm of usability, I basically got to set them too tight on the cones and then come in and torque this down and move the cone a little bit. See if I can wind up where I want to be. There we go. That ain't bad. I found a spot where it's spinning pretty freely. Is it perfectly free? No, but it's pretty free. And there's no play in it. So we're going to go ahead and run it there. Going down on the pawls. And then turn the hub upside down in the sink so all the oil comes out and doesn't go down in and rinse out my grease. Okay. Concave cup, convex washer. Right? That goes on first. And your retaining nut. Now why are the manufacturers putting all these concave rounded washers and cups in there? Well, they want that pad to have a perfectly flat adjustable face onto the rim. And as they wear, and the back edge or the first edge that hits it first wears more than the other and all that stuff starts to happen, you got to be able to adjust the angles of these pads. Okay, that's important, guys. You want to make sure it's going to mate properly with the face of the rim. You want that pad to angle correctly flat against that wheel. Ah! Okay, guys, there it is. She's ready to go. She's got a good amount of grease in the front hub, properly tensioned cones, fresh grease in the back hub, properly tensioned cones. Probably could use a smoother, newer, better sealed cartridge rear hub. Bottom bracket smooth and nice and good. Everything's good there. So, chain's got a similar amount of slack just about wherever you put it, so the components are in good shape. If you have a chain where it gets real tight and real loose and real tight and real loose, yeah, obviously that could mean the chain's wearing out and sections of the chain are going bad. But it can also mean that your sprockets are out of round or not centered on their crank, or you got a freewheel that's going bad and it's cocked. You know, but I don't see any of that. That all looks good. So I got the brake fixed so that the pads come off the rim the same amount, and they're nowhere near it, so there's no chance of any drag. So Todd put some air in it already before I bought it, so she's ready to ride, guys.